Well, I want to thank everyone for coming today. Hello, hello. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. And I have been working, I guess life has been lifing for me. I'll put it that way. Life has been lifing, and I've had a boatload of stress. And so many of you have shown up for me, and I am grateful, so grateful for each and every one of you. And I came to a time where menopause was knocking on the door. Yay. So it goes. And I was having a lot of weight gain issues and a lot of other things going on, and stress, just beyond stress, in stress out in the stratosphere, I guess. And I decided something had to change because I couldn't keep going the way that I was going. So I was grateful because my friend Kristen ended up inviting me to join her on a journey. and, and within that journey, I started putting myself first. And I know, Ray, we've talked a lot about, putting on your the oxygen max first for yourself before you think of anybody else. And that was not the easiest thing for me. Um, and my perspective has always been be kind, always been grateful. And I also get to do that for me too. It's one of those, I get to put myself first. And that was not an easy role, or not an easy thing to get into. But I just decided, like, it's me and it's my time, and I'm going to be 50 in April. So like it's time to get her done. So I went on a journey with Kristen, and I've been able to release 50 pounds, and that's been unbelievable, and so good for me, and good for my life, and it makes me a better parent, it makes me a better friend, everything else, because I can show up with more energy. But another thing, even with working with Kristen, I was having all kinds of, because of the stress, all kinds of issues with IBS, and it was just taking me down. And I could not, like, I couldn't willingly just go somewhere because I wanted to be there. I had to make sure I knew where the bathroom was, which, we don't really want to talk about, but it's the truth of where I was. And the stress was, getting to me, even with losing the weight. And so it was huge, but it was also like I didn't even know what to eat. I was really stressed out. And in comes Sarah. And Sarah is gut mastery, and she really helped to shift my body because of what I was putting into my body. And I got to put much more healthy foods into there. And again, that's where Carrie comes in, and Carrie helped me to understand regenerative soil and regenerative health, and it's just been amazing. And so magically, truly magically, I have not had IBS in months, and I had that for over 30 years. And it's just, I've told people about it, and I've been like, yeah. And my mom's always like, okay, it's stress. And it is stress. I absolutely agree. It is stress. And yet there's more, because the stress level, believe it or not, has actually gone up even since then. The stress level has gone up. And there were 2 days that I stepped away from my nutrition just because life was lifing. And I got one round of IBS, and it was like, ooh, what's going on here? And then I started going back into my nutrition, and it went away again. And the stress has not lessened. So I've been really, really blown away what truly taking care of myself has done for me. And it's magical. I've read Mel Robbins' book about, the high five, the high five habit, I think. And I really am in a place where I'm putting myself first. And for a people pleaser, a former people pleaser, a recovering people pleaser, and a giver, it's been an adventure, but it's been huge. And also bringing all of you in and asking for support, like truly being in a place where I'm like, hey, I'd love it if you could show up. I'd love it if you could help me out in this way. And asking for the support has been incredible. And I'd like to kind of take it from there. And it's helped me with my mental clarity. It's helped me, like I said, to magically be no more IBS. I have more energy to run around with my daughter, and 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 I know Judy's having more energy to run around with the grandkids. So it's been really, really magical, and I wanted to share these wonderful people that I have in my world, and they're willing to share their knowledge, and so I wanted to bring them on, and here we go. So, Kristen, thank you for all of your help all along.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Let me see if I can add myself here. We're gonna side by side. Okay. So first, Courtney, I just want to applaud you so much for all the things that you've done, for continuing to put yourself first, because the decision to put yourself first is challenging, and then to keep putting yourself first when things get hard and harder and harder is really challenging as well. So I just want to celebrate you, because this is not a quick fix. This is not an overnight type of journey, and you've been a just an amazing trailblazer in a way for demonstrating how much you can do by putting yourself first, pairing, a really solid eating program, adding, some amazing tools like we're getting from Purium that we'll talk more about today. And really just assembling, right? Like you say, you're collecting all the pieces. So all the people that really help you put the puzzle together, and all the tools that are a part of that as well. So, yeah, so just wanted to celebrate all the amazing things that you have done and are continuing to do. So I just wanted to share for myself. I actually learned about Purium from Sarah when I was having some gut issues myself, and she was extremely helpful in introducing this tool into my life. And it is a tool to help with detox. I got rid of some junk that I had been holding in my system for who knows how long. But then also really fueling up with super high quality nutrients. And that sounds really funny for me to say, because I've been a plant-based health coach for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years now, on a vegan journey for the past 12. So I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and really healthy food. And I am not always super perfect, nor extremely careful about making sure that everything is plastic free or pesticide free or organic, and I had never even heard of regenerative farming. So, in a nutshell, that means actually that we're growing our food in a responsible manner where the nutrients are getting put back into the soil, not just getting stripped away over and over and over again, as happens with most of our agriculture. So, adding the super high quality nutrients was a real game changer for me. It makes me feel really good about the things that I'm putting in my body in addition to healthy food choices. But the other thing, and again, this is funny because I teach people how to simplify food prep and make healthy meals, but the ability to do that in a shake is really hard to beat. So for those situations where even I'm too busy to prepare a nice healthy meal, or if I need to add to it, or if I need to ship my 11-year-old daughter off to dance, I can just whip up a shake and know that we're covering all the bases. And then the food that we're eating kind of becomes the bonus on top of it. So for me, Purium has been a huge time saver, and really has simplified a lot of what I do on a day-to-day basis. So I'm thankful to have it as a part of my life, and it has helped a lot of other people as well. Thank you for having me here. Sarah, do you want to share a little bit about?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sarah, and I am a gut health coach. I have my background, I have my doctorate in nutrition. I've studied it all my life, and I found Purium like, when I was dealing with gut health issues and autoimmune conditions, and my health was just in the toilet. And I'd done a lot to heal at that point. Um, the issues that were going on with my gut, but I couldn't absorb nutrients. It was something I was still struggling with. And so it really came full circle when the Purium really really ended that struggle for me by giving me just flooding my body with nutrients that are, it's just I've been somebody that's said my whole life that we can get everything we need from food. And it's just not really the case anymore. Because our the nutrition quality of our food has dropped so much recently, and that has to do with the farming practices. So that's one of the reasons that makes this approach so effective. And Courtney, when you were talking about like putting yourself first, it's really, I mean, you really nailed it. Made me think of a friend that I was trying to convince to try these products for a while, and finally got through to her because she was struggling. And I was like, it's just the best form of self-love. That's what I described it as. And then a few weeks later, because she was resistant to shakes, she likes shakes. I don't want to do it. And she felt she got everything she needed from being a vegan and everything, you know. And a few weeks later into it, she was like, I just feel so nourished, and such self-care, I guess is what she said. So yeah, it's when you nourish your body, it becomes capable of a lot more. And that's why we're doing this, because and really trying to share now at this point. I've been able to nourish myself back to health, helping others as well, because I've tried every gut health solution out there when I was on my journey, everything, and nothing worked like this did. And I didn't even seek this out as a gut health solution. I sought it out because I noticed trying some of the powders made, well, I was actually finally able to get nourishment, and then it just blew my mind, the transformation pack, and how what it did for my gut and what it does for my clients' guts. It's wild. Back to basics. So yeah, I guess, and I found out about Purium through Carrie, so I guess we'll pass the baton over to Carrie, who's such a brilliant regenerative detoxification specialist.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Kristen and Courtney. Your story is so inspiring, and I just like smile like so big because I love hearing these stories of when we start to realize like we can change, right? We can make a difference, and I can relate to the people pleaser, and taking care of yourself. And when you do take care of yourself, that beautiful ripple effect it has. And so what I loved is like, yeah, you fell off, but you knew how to come back on. And that's what I want for people. I want people to know there is another way, right? Diseases are on the rise, of chronic conditions are on the rise. Like we're seeing that everywhere in our healthcare system. It's really sick care management. They don't really teach how to get well. They just manage symptoms, and which we need them for emergencies, and they're amazing for certain things. But there's a huge piece that's missing that I noticed, and that's what got me into regenerative health, because I was, in my 30s being like, why do I feel like I'm 90? I had a hard time getting out of bed. I'm like, I don't look like I should feel this bad this young. Like I'm too young to feel this old. And I had so much pain. I had sciatica stuff. I watched my dad struggle with health, and I saw all the pills that he was taking, which led to more chronic conditions that I was like, that just doesn't seem like the way I want to age. And the quality of life was really hard to witness, and which was another thing that inspired me to look for other answers. And so when I started to have all my own chronic symptoms I had excess weight, digestive issues, skin stuff. I was like, oh, I have dark circles under my eyes because my grandma does, right? I thought that, I'm just going to have it because my dad has it, or my dad had a bad back, so I'm going to have one. And what I realized when I learned like genetics loads a gun, but lifestyle pulls a trigger, and I had that always ask why to get to the root cause. And that just forever stuck with me of like not wanting to give up and wanting to find the answers. And that led me to regenerative health. And I was able to, heal so many symptoms, and symptoms I didn't even know I needed to heal, because I just thought, oh, it's normal to have menstrual pain, or it's normal to, get congested at this time of the year. And that doesn't happen anymore. I rarely get sick. And if I do, I'm like, good, it's my body's cleansing. And so I don't look at it. I look at life through a whole different lens, because I was able to remove the obstructions that were blocking the flow in so many ways. And I could go down I could do a whole separate class on regenerative health. But what led me to these regeneratively grown foods that these amazing women are talking about is, so when I started working with clients, I noticed they were having a hard time sticking to the protocol, sticking to the diet. And I remember my teacher saying, as long as food is grown properly and picked right, they should feel amazing. Like the work works. But I learned that our food isn't most of it isn't grown properly or picked right with all the chemicals. And thank God more people are becoming aware of this. I'm seeing this more in the news with the people that share stuff with me. Like the Food Babe is trying to make a difference, and I've seen these other outlets. So things are happening. Things are changing, and people are demanding like we should get these artificial things out of our kids' food, and and grow food in the way it's meant to be grown, and just go back to the roots really in a healthy way and more in harmony with nature. And one of the main things that they spray on our food, and I didn't know this, I knew they sprayed chemicals, I didn't know what that meant, is glyphosate. And glyphosate is one of the main ingredients in Roundup, and it's literally patented as an antibiotic, which stands for against life. So many women are, having a hard time with fertility. If this kills all the bugs and pests, it's going to kill the microbes, it's going to kill all the good bacteria, it's going to kill all these things. What does that, and then that food is grown that way, what does that do to our body? And we're seeing the long-term effects of that now, and it's linked to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, it's linked to all kinds of things. And so Purium is a superfoods company. Then Dave, the owner, founded it almost like 30 years ago now, and he wanted to take it beyond organic. Like it's more than just void of chemicals. We need to have it in mineral rich soil, because the quality of the food we eat equals the quality of life we live. And I've seen and witnessed that in my own life and my clients' life. When they change their diet, so many things happen, and it is like magic, and our body is designed to heal if we give it the right environment. And so when I brought this in, I noticed my clients could stick with the protocol longer because they're feeling nourished on a cellular level, because the foods are grown in a regenerative way, picked at peak ripeness, and then when dehydrated, and then packaged in biodegradable bags. So I was like, that checked beyond all the boxes for me. As far as if I'm going to supplement something, I want it to be a real whole food type of thing, and no artificial fillers, sweeteners, all those things. And so yeah, I noticed a difference in my own family, and I love that Kristen brought up the convenience thing when I travel, or if I want to do a 2-day juice cleanse because maybe I ate something that didn't agree with me the night before, I can give my digestion a rest. It's so easy to just mix different powders and drink it, to do a little reset, and just to know I'm getting that nourishment in, and feeling good about supporting regenerative farmers. And once we, start to learn all this stuff, if people watch documentaries of like Forks Over Knives or these, Food Inc. or Food Matters, and you see how, factory farms are done, and you wouldn't want to support those industries because of what they're doing with the animals. And then of course, what they're doing with the food in certain ways with all the chemicals. We really want to know where our food is coming from, and we vote with our dollar. So the more of us that are like voting buying these things, it's going to drive the price down, and we're going to demand more of it. And so I have a huge passion for sharing this information to empower people to like, no, we can heal our body when we give it the right environment. And so no matter what symptoms that you have, I feel like it's like a sacred messenger to try to get you to come back in alignment, come back into harmony. So it's amazing that our body has this built-in mechanism to tell us when we're off course so we can get back on. And I know Courtney can relate to that. And I think we all can, right? If we even notice this, I love salsa dancing. I got invited to go out. I stayed up later than I normally do. I felt way off because sleep is important, right? So it's like really looking at the whole lifestyle is important, but food is such a huge part of that. And so I could be eating the healthiest thing, and then if I'm staying out late all the time, that takes a toll. So really looking at bringing this in as well as doing a healthy lifestyle transformation. And so I can share my screen if visuals help people, and then I can open it up for questions to just talk about what comes in the ultimate lifestyle transformation. So, and then it's helpful to see it. So let me pull it up first on my computer so I have it ready to go. And then I'll open it up for questions too after. All right, share screen. Oh wait, I don't think I can share it. Can you make me co-host?
There you go. Should that work?
Yep. I have a lot of tabs open. Hold on.
a weird
Okay.
statement.
Oh, what was the other one? Scientific evidence. Yeah, 90% of all diseases are stress related. So we just talked about stress, right? And it's stress in life, but also how is our internal environment stressed, right? It's like the macro and the micro. And another example I like to use is the water, right? We're seeing the waters being polluted in the rivers and the oceans, and the same thing is happening within our bodies. And I feel like when we take care of ourselves, it has this beautiful ripple effect. And it starts with, instead of pointing fingers or blaming and complaining, it's like, let's start with ourselves. And if every person took really good care of themselves and lived in alignment with nature in a healthy way, we wouldn't have all this pollution and waste. But so just like the stress of life can happen, when we're eating a certain way, it can stress out our body. And yeah, so you throw extra stress on top of it all, it can, yeah, make a big impact. So yeah, stress response is more of like a weakened immune system. You're more susceptible to like infections, or, when we're stressed, we release more cortisol, which can store in the belly area. So if somebody's struggling with belly fat and they're doing all the things, checking the stress levels is just another thing that can be helpful. And thriving isn't just a state of mind, it's also a state of body. So yeah, we're all about bringing in nutrient-dense foods to help with energy, mood, digestion, and then of course, with the proper sleep, it brings it all together and is really helpful. So with nutrition and gut support and hormone balance, like we can really thrive this year. I'm gonna move this over so I can see. And this is just more information about like gut health, and we can get into that in the questions, but really wanted to show the transformation. So this is what comes with it is the power shake. And you can get different shakes. So there's 2 superfood shakes that you'll get. And you'll take that twice a day. So it's like 2 organic superfood meals a day, which is equivalent to like 5 to 7 salads. There's a dark cherry juice. This apothecary is amazing for deep sleep and helps you feel more rested when you wake up. And it's amazing for inflammation, joint health, so many things. So it has one of the highest levels of natural melatonin. So if somebody like is easy to wake up, this just really helps you get into that deeper state of sleep. So it's nice to take a couple hours before bed. And it's great for the lymphatic system and the kidneys. So this cherry juice is one of the best tasting ones I've ever had, and it's concentrated. So 30 cherries are in like 1 tablespoon. So you take a couple tablespoons of that, and it's really good. You can mix it with water. And then it comes with super aminos. So aminos are the building blocks, right, for our health. And so that most people don't absorb protein, maybe 30%, but this was formulated by an Italian doctor to help patients with muscle atrophy. So it's 99% absorbable. They're from sprouted legumes, and so it goes into the body within 23 minutes. So this helps build muscle and burn fat without wreaking havoc on digestion, kidneys, liver. So if somebody is needing to get more essential aminos or proteins in, this is such a great way to do it. And you can even take these if you're fasting. So it's great to do in conjunction with all of this to help with supporting those building blocks. And then the Biomedic is scientifically proven to get 75% of glyphosate out in 6 weeks. So this is a huge thing for gut support, and because we can't avoid it, it's in our air, food, and water. And so what we can do is control what we bring in our home, what we bring in our bodies, and how we shop. So the Biomedic is really helpful for that. And then it comes with a herbal formula to get parasites and fungus out. So most people, if you're craving a lot of sugars or breads or different things like that, it's helpful to just get that microbial community out. And then also while changing your diet, so we aren't the host for them, because they only, they're trying to do their job by cleaning up the trash. So it's all about like bringing in the nourishing foods and opening, the elimination pathways to get what's no longer, serving us out. So then our body can repair. So yeah, it's like super healthy fast food. And it's really easy to, mix it up in a shaker bottle. And it's, yeah, the easiest way to get, sometimes we buy fruits and vegetables and they're sitting in the fridge or we forget about them and they go bad. So it's a way to have shelf stable food. And nowadays, like more people want to have that because we have no idea what can happen. I mean, we've witnessed that, and with whether it's a natural disaster or something, people, it's nice to have these on hand. So if something was to happen or power was to go out or we can't go to the grocery store, they shut down the world, like you just don't know. So I always have like extra of the superfoods because at least I know I'll feel nourished and hydrated. So I keep an extra, stockpile for emergencies or if somebody needs it. And they have like a smart order feature too. So if you're like wanting to stay on track, if you wanted to do a monthly protocol, they have that. So that way you don't run out. It's because sometimes, it's nice to just have things on subscription, but you don't have to do that either. It's just an option. So yeah, I think I went through that. I went through these, just different highlights of, burning fat, increasing skin elasticity and improving mental function. We talked about the biomedic and apothecary, and we talked about those. But just it's helpful to have a visual. And then they have one for like athletes, if there's like somebody that is super active, there's different ones. So we can answer questions and customize them. And then just wanted to share some of these results that you already heard are amazing results, but there's other people in the community too that shared their results as well. So yeah, they said that it's really helpful for helping with their nails and skin and, helping from the inside out. And that's too another thing that we can look at, like how is our energy? How is our digestion? How is our hair? How is our skin? Do we have dry skin? And so we can really like clean things out from the inside out, or hydrate too from the inside out. She dropped inches in weight and feels better. And Roxanne said she built a new life at 53 years old, lost 7 pounds, decreased inflammation and greater flexibility, and clothes fit better and deeper sleep. And that's really what we want, right? Is more of like a quality of life. Oh yeah, I was going to just end with this and open up for questions. So do something today that your future self will thank you for. And I loved that, that quote. Oops. And if we start now, we can look back and be like, I'm so glad I started today. And another way to look at time is like, I only have, if you're wanting to live to 100 and you're in your 50s, maybe you have 50 summers left, or maybe 50 winters left, or 50 seasons left. It puts time and life in a different perspective. So it's like what I've worked with one client who said, I didn't live as healthy the first 60 years of my life or first half of my life. I want to live the later half better. And so our bodies are so forgiving, and it is like magic, right? We can alchemize and change it by the environment that we give it. So I will get a little visitor in here. But yeah, I wanted to just open it up for questions because I could keep talking and talking, but really I want to be here for you. And if you're inspired by wanting to do a transformation. So some people do 30 days, some people do 60, and some people do 90. I think 30 is great and 60 is better and 90 is best. So when you do 3 months of like changing diet and lifestyle, with the extra support, you can really notice a big difference. And that's when I noticed a big shift, is when I committed to like 3 months in a row, because you'll start to hit plateaus and you could take it to another level. And it's guided by people that have regenerative, health backgrounds. And you have like Sarah and Courtney and Kristen, and there's so much support. And so it's such a great community of people. If you have questions that, we just want to see people thrive and create that beautiful ripple effect that we all are doing when we take good self-care. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, Courtney. So if anyone's, wanting to do this, connect with Courtney and she can share a discount code with you. And I just wanted to pass it back to you if there's any other things you wanted to add, and then we can open it up for questions.
Yeah, I'm blown away at what a difference. And again, Ray's been with me where we've been talking about the oxygen mask and everything, but it's made a huge difference. It's made such an enormous difference in my world, and also, my family's world, because I have more energy and I can get up and go. And that's why I wanted to share it with all of you. The stress has been off the charts, but there's also another product that Purium has that's called Be Energetic, and it truly really helped me to settle in so many ways, and it just helped me to go through my day more calmly with the Be Energetic. And I wanted to share this with you because you, each and every one of you, have been there for me, and I felt like it was a wonderful thing to share. So thank you. And are there any questions? Do you have any questions? Because these are some pretty awesome people here. Lisa.
Thanks. That's all really good information. I'm intrigued, interested. So the shakes, you said twice a day. So is that in addition to other food, or is it exclusively?
Yeah, yep, that's a great question, and thanks for helping me clarify that. So you're eating, we recommend eating real whole foods, so like fruits, unlimited fruits and vegetables. It's not like a restrictive thing, but of course we're saying, if you limit processed food, processed sugar, all these things, you're gonna have better results. And yeah, so it just kind of depends on what your goals are and what your needs are, and we can help you. We have so many amazing people to help customize a plan, but heavy focused on fruits and vegetables with it, unlimited. And then, and if you don't want to do it as a cleanse, you can just bring it in as like a nourishing thing to add in. So some people are like, I'm ready for a lifestyle change, so they drop these other processed things. And some people are like, I want to heal XYZ or really get to the root of it. You can work your way into, minimizing those things that are causing the harm in your body.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, Carrie, and thank you to all of you for coming. And Susie, you see sunshine here. And when Sunshine reminded me that there's so many different ways to take care of yourself. And for me, every time that my cat, either Sunshine or Snuggles, comes and lays on me and they start the purring, like there really is this calming sense that comes over me. You can either get a weighted blanket or you can get a cat that comes and hangs out on you and purrs and everything else. And but there's also the community. We all get together, we talk, we share, we support one another. And Susie, you're the one that really showed me when I was at your house about the circle of kindness and how, just there really is, the ripple effects and everything else. And it makes such a difference in the world. Susie is the person that really made me feel at home here in Pittsburgh. And she said hello to me and, started talking to me at Wild Birds Unlimited, and truly, no joke, changed the entire trajectory of my life. And it's because, I met my husband because of her. Like it's literally everything. She's changed everything. And I'm truly, truly grateful for all of you. And thank you for coming, Susie. And you got to meet this polydactyl one of these days. He's got extra toes, so he's a mitten kitten, full of lots of love. So, please share kindness, spread kindness. I see your kitty there, Carrie.
He's a mitten kitten too.
Yeah. He says, I want to come see. He's a mitten kitten too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I see.
Let's see the mittens.
Yeah, that's so funny.
See the extra
Yeah,
toes.
and when you said Sunny, I'm like, my son's name is Sunny. This is
Oh,
Simba.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate every one of you, and thank you so much for coming, and thank you for
more
being
cats.
a support system. And yeah, thank you for cats. Oh, there you go. There's Parker. Did you see Parker? He got to say hello too. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate every one of you. And please, let's connect. There we are. There's Parker boy. All right. I love you and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Courtney, for bringing everyone together.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.